Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Sam from the Soul of Stella with another pick a card reading here for you today. I'm actually going to shuffle this deck. It's called an art guide. It's not really meant for tarot, but I'm going to use it anyway because I kind of love how weird it is. It's for like walking around galleries and getting new perspectives and things like that. Which is suitable for today's really loose topic of, is this situation going to improve? And if so, how? Is it going to get better? Okay. So it's going to apply in whichever way you like. You might even want to watch all the piles for different messages, different facets of your life. Okay, I'm going to take that one for pile number 2. Pile number 3, please, Spirit. I'm going to take the top one for that. All the purple cards. Okay. Yeah, so tune into your intuition. Have a think about the issue at hand, or perhaps a couple of different issues, and then just go, okay, I'm going to watch this one first, and then I'm going to pick that one next, or whatever. But just take a deep breath, ground yourself. Please remember, as always, these are still collective readings, and you only want to take what resonates. You only want to take what is useful to you. You don't want to force anything to fit into your life. You don't want to take it as gospel, okay? You have free will. The people around you have free will, and time is fluid, all right? So for pile number 1, we have search the floor. Can you find the lost piece of art? Interesting. It's speaking very metaphorically there for some of you. Okay, pile number 2, move as close as you can to art. What does it smell like? Can you see something new from this distance? Like I said, they're very like testing you to find a new perspective on something. And pile number 3, make a drawing in the air. Place this drawing on top of another piece of art. Okay, so once you have chosen your pile, 1, 2, 3. Timestamps are below. We're going to keep it short and sweet, and I will see you in your reading. Pile number 1, welcome to your reading. This is your card. It says, search the floor. Can you find the lost piece of art? Okay, so if you chose that card, this is your reading. We are asking Spirit. I'm going to keep it short and sweet. What is this situation going to improve? And if so, how? My hair all over the place here. So whatever situation, we're just going to get some, actually I want to start with this deck. We're just going to get some brief messages so that you can kind of go, okay, I've got that, I can move on with my day. Now I know what to expect. And kind of remembering that this is like personal development. Okay, now that I know this, now I can act differently. Now I can bring this into motion differently. I'm actually going to take that one because I can see it, that one because I can see it, and those were hidden. Okay. All right. So what is this regarding? We've got table, hard work ahead. Okay. So it may get better, but it's going to get better with hard work. Grapes, time to go out and have fun. Okay. So after all the work is done, then you can have the fun. We've got hammock, taking a vacation physically or mentally. I feel like they go together. I wanted to separate them. That's interesting. And 4-leaf clover, great, good fortune. Okay. So with hard work, whatever this situation is, and if this card is more metaphorical to you, because you're not searching the floor for a lost piece of art, you're not? Why not? It's kind of saying like, look, there's opportunities out there. Search in places that you perhaps like. It's almost like get down, you know, get down low and go. And that's like a table is, it feels like this is like a coffee table, like low to the ground. So it does feel like if you can change your perspective enough to look at something from, you know, down low, and that feels like a restful kind of approach. Like you're down low, you might be lying or sitting, right? And from that perspective, how does it look different? And if you then apply hard work and it feels like a balance with the table, okay, there may be oh, hello, we don't want that. We don't want interruptions. But there's also like 4 legs to keep this balanced, right? So there may be 4 things, right? And 4-leaf clover There may be 4 different things or 4 leaves out of a book, right? There's something you need to learn. There's 4 little pieces coming together, or there's 4 things you need to do, or in 4 weeks, what you're working hard at is going to pay off, okay? So if this doesn't feel like your pile, you can go ahead and choose another pile, but it feels like something where you're asking, is this job situation? Is this conflict that I might be having with my partner or family, okay? Because something around the table. It could also have a lot to do with like how you perceive self, because coffee tables are where we normally put like coffee table books. We put things that are important to us that we use on a daily basis. And to some degree, they're kind of like, well, is yours littered and covered in crap? Or is it like mine's on display so that when someone comes into my home, you know, is that what you're looking at? Are you like representing yourself on this coffee table? And when was the last time you like took your feet off the coffee table, gave it a wipe down and redecorated things? Okay, it's seeing things from a new perspective. You've also got justice on the bottom of the deck here that I couldn't help but notice. So it feels like, look, this situation will improve, but it's not going to happen without a little bit of elbow grease. Do you know what I mean? A little bit of like, you know, got to get into it. All right, Spirit, can you give us some, oh yeah, this could definitely have to do with a relationship with the 2 of Cups, okay? Mutual give and take with hard work because we believe. And the hard work may be like conversations that need to be had. It may be like physically moving things, okay? Setting up home. Will this situation improve if you move in together? There's a mutual give and take, equal partnership. And then 4 of Pentacles, okay? So it does feel like, you know, there's going to be a period of restraint. This person is holding her pentacle close to her chest. So restraint when it comes to overspending or where your energy just gets exerted, okay? So a focus. A short-term focus is going to lead to the kind of rewards that you're looking for here. Time to chill out, time to take a mental vacation, and good fortune is going to come from this effort that you're putting in right now, okay? So it feels temporary, but it feels balanced as well, because the 2 and then the 4, they're both even numbers. It feels very balanced. Page of Cups. This could come with an apology, again, leading to that, like, relationship. It still could be a relationship at work and an apology coming in because someone sees how hard you've been working, and then you get the promotion that you're looking for, and then you're able to take that vacation that you need to take. Then you're able to get the time off that you asked for. And the Tower card. Can we clarify the Tower, please, Spirit? Okay, 5 of Pentacles, loss, disappointment, financial kind of poverty. You know, feeling a little bit left out in the cold, but the key is right there. If you just get up and you take that key and put it in the door, it might be hard to actually get up, and especially when you're feeling overburdened by responsibility, okay? But when you get up and you know, pack your bullock here full of everything you need to do, and you actually get up and you put the key in the door, what's on the other side is something that breaks down all the things that weren't working and comes back around. So you could even be like metaphorically constructing a new table for yourself here, okay? Because the table is balanced, the Tower is unbalanced. And I really like the depiction of the Tower in this deck, because it really feels like the Tower has already crumbled, and the forest is kind of eating up all the last pieces of timber, and you know, the moss and the regrowth is starting to kind of put back together a new structure. You know, like almost like a tree has fallen in the middle of the night. And look, this is a very barren landscape, right? But all the burdens are right there with you. They're on your back. And this is why you might physically and mentally need a vacation here. But I feel like there's an apology coming once someone sees that you have been giving your fair share, saving for like restraint, having some restraint on your energy, which really feels like focus here. And it feels like, okay, I understand now that in order for things to, like, in this moment of crisis, and when things were really like out of balance here and things were really getting too much for all of us here, it feels like other parties are involved in this situation. Then you've been able to take all those wands off your back and actually create something else here. You've been able to, you know, you're not just like watching the tower fall and walking away. Temperance here, so healing and patience have been involved. Your patience might have really been tested, and you're like just one thing after another, because all of these, like, that's one thing after another. You know, you've really gone through it. And yeah, it feels like it's kind of been going in a loop, but it just got stuck. It really got bogged down in this energy. But it feels like, you know what, you can chalk this up to experience. At the end of the day, at some point, you'll be able to look back and be like, well, I'm glad it happened. It's that kind of energy here. Anything else? I just saw something flip. Yes, you might need that restoration time, that retreating time, okay, with the Four of Swords here. So if this is like a relationship that broke down, it broke down for a reason, so that you could both see what life was like without each other and how cold it was, you know, on the outside. Because the Five of Pentacles in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, in the original deck, it really does depict like a stained glass window and looking in, two people out in the cold, in the snow, you know, trudging, begrudging, and looking into the church on the inside with a warm glow inside. And it's like, well, there's my sanctuary. And here you're like, I'm giving myself some sanctuary. Okay, you're giving yourself some tender loving care to mend that, like, not broken heart, but just the overburdened, overworked heart. And in that process of healing yourself, and the temperance energy was there, you've got the Six of Swords, which is really talking about moving to calmer waters and moving on to better things, okay? So you could be literally taking a vacation somewhere watery, and it's really healing and cathartic for you after all your hard work of putting things kind of back together, of like reconstructing things. And this is not just your IKEA kind of flat pack kind of table here. This is an intricate design. This is something that is extraordinary, and that's why it takes hard work. You know, that's why it takes a little bit of extra time. That's why it required the perseverance here, and required you to almost like find a new perspective on how you can use these 10 wands to actually carve and whittle and make them something really special. It's a work of art, okay? So can we get the outcome? I might actually get another deck here. Okay, overall good news regarding this situation, because I do see like this is all good news. Will the situation improve? Yes, with some hard work, with some perseverance, okay? So overall advice. The Lovers. And the Nine of Pentacles. Yeah, look, it feels like strengthening yourself to come back together in a way that feels a lot more balanced. And it feels like you've been, like, now you can harvest your rewards. It feels like a sense of, you're so close to building something really beautiful together here. Your intuition has been heightened and strengthened. There's a sense of, look, you don't know how this might turn out. There's a sense of keeping things close to your chest, and possibly spirit keeping things close to their chest and not revealing entirely how this is going to happen. And you're like, all I can see right now is the tower. All I can see right now is the burdens and the snow. And you're like, I want to get to this sunnier place where it feels like, you know, I've been fed the luxuries of life. Like, where is this? I want to know where this is. It's coming. It's definitely coming. And if it's not a relationship that you're coming back to, it's a new relationship coming in, and someone who sees you as highly spiritual and also highly independent, capable, you know, thriving, looking gorgeous, and maybe even a little defensive to kind of protect what you've built. But it's not to say that you won't let your guard down eventually, because it feels like you're getting what you want. Yeah, Three of Wands. That says definitely some kind of travel involved in this situation. And at the bottom of the deck, we've got the Three of Cups. Okay, celebration, things to celebrate, being social, coming together with friends, having a drink. You know, the grapes definitely speak about wine here. All right, let's get an advice card for you and I'll wrap it up. That's a nice short reading with this one. Actually, I might even get a Moonology card. Is this situation improving for pile number one? Yes, and how? Lose yourself in creative pursuits that allow freedom of thought, authentic self-expression, and the satisfaction of building something uniquely yours. Yes, building something, rebuilding something that isn't just based on the responsibilities and burdens of others, and you're putting the key in the door because you built the door, you bloody self. You know, it's like, no, I'm walking through a new door, a new threshold. And whether that is a new period in an existing relationship or you're finding a new relationship that is mutually fulfilling, after a period of healing and after a period of rebuilding self. That Nine of Pentacles is really about rebuilding self and material assets for sure. Hard work on like actual material wealth building here. But interesting that that mentions building as well. And freedom of thought, you know, it's a different creative table. It's something that you don't see every day. It's not the run of the mill. So of course it's going to require, it's kind of like that cliche that you know, if it was easy, it'd be sleazy. It's like the good things are worth waiting for. The good things are worth working for. Final advice. Final advice for pile number 1. You know you are loved. New moon in Libra. A sense of balance is coming, and I'm drawn to that grapey kind of color again. And release your blocks. Okay, so even though this Tower moment happened, even though there is some healing to be done here, even though you may have, you know, some things may have broken down, fallen by the wayside in the meantime, what you're actually creating is something so much better. It's going to be better than you think. And instead of this just being a block of timber, you're actually turning it into something beautiful. Okay, so release your blocks, release that creative expression, freedom of thought. Nurture self and focus on moving in that new direction twice, really. Even if you're not entirely sure how this is going to happen, when you release your blocks and like kind of like surrender to the process, and just know it in whatever way, whatever shape or form, you know, I know that this is going to work out for the best, then I'm just going to focus on getting to work. And it's like your intuition is really telling you to just stay focused, because she's here with the laptop and your intuition doesn't have all the answers right now, or at least you don't think you do, but spirit has like a divine plan here for you. And it does feel beautiful. It feels really good. I hope this is useful, pile number 1. If you do want to ask another question, go back to the beginning and choose another pile. But thank you so much for being here. I so appreciate all the likes, the shares, the comments, and of course, subscribe so I can see you in the next one. Bye. Pile number 2, welcome to your reading. If you chose this card, very abstract messages we've got going on today. Move as close as you can to art. What does it smell like? Can you see something new from this distance? And we're talking about, is this situation going to improve? Whatever situation that is. What I'm really drawn to with this is moving close to something and then from this distance. Okay, so it feels like maybe a separation period here, or it feels like having a vision and from so far away, it feels so far away, like a goal, but it feels so far away. If I believe and if I start this, I kind of want to know, is it going to work out? So your question could have something to do with that. It doesn't have to be. Only take what resonates. And if it doesn't feel like it's fitting, you can always go back to the intro and pick another pile, or you can just choose different areas of your life and watch all 3 if you want to. But Spirit, what is this possibly in regards to? I love how these cards like flick like this. Cool, that's plenty. Oh, whoa. I'm just going to take that one because there's like 10 others. Okay, we have rat, someone working against you behind your back. Yikes. No one wants that. But I feel like you can smell it, right? What does it smell like? I can smell the rat. Interesting. Once you investigate something, you're like, yeah, I knew something was up. I knew something was going on. Cain, pay attention to your health. Okay, this could have something to do with, I just heard a cavity, because you know when you can taste them? Ugh. But that's only for some of you, and you can smell it. Staff or staff. You will be taken care of in difficult times. This looks like a walking stick. I mean, that's literally what those things are. But there's a vine around it. So it feels like something is having like some regrowth. It feels like something is, divinely protected. And I feel like you are being taken care of in this situation. It feels so far away. If this is a health situation for you, you might be saying, well, it feels so far away to feel better. So, you know, am I ever going to feel better? You know, when I hurt my back, I was like, am I ever going to like feel not pain? Not pain. Good English, Sam. Pig, beware of greed. Okay. So look, it's something that, this is very specific, actually. Or, you know, take it however it resonates for you. You might see these symbols and it may resonate completely differently in your own life, and you'll be like, oh, this is about that. But this could be about something where you kind of have overdone it. Look, maybe you were around some people, this is very specific too, but maybe you were around a lot of people who encouraged you to push past your limits with drinking or, you know, other recreational things. And it just got you to a place where you, it kind of crumbled you in this sense. But again, it keeps like a smell, right? It's crumbled you in some way from, it's like you now need something to help you get by. And it's interesting because in the cane image and this, it's two walking sticks. So you may even be on crutches, okay? You may have actually like overdone something, and there's been like a situation that arose and there was a fight or something, you know, and now you're ending up on crutches. That's really specific. But I'm going to start like getting some tarot on this because I know that's not going to be for everyone. It could be your mental health as well, and you've been in your head because you're like, I know something's up, I know something's up. And it could be that someone else's greed has gotten the better of them, and because they saw that you were, you know, trying new things, finding new perspectives, going outside the grain, like outside the box of your friend group or whatever, and, you know, like trying new things. It feels like a sense of wisdom here too, and your wisdom coming to save you. And in a sense, that saves your mental health. It's like, I've got a crutch for my mental health, or like in a best possible way. I don't mean crutch as in like something to fall back on, in like that's unhealthy for you. I mean something to assist. Something to assist, and that's like a literal, I'm thinking like a literal crutch to help you to move forward away from this energy of people being greedy. And it might just mean that now when you get closer to understanding what this is in your life, you can smell that rat and you're like, I'm going to take a step back, and I'm going to, like, now that I see it clearly, I'm going to create something new for myself, and I'm going to walk, you know, I'm going to take my wisdom here, because it just feels like it's like the elderly, you know, it's with that wisdom, I'm going to take this in a new direction, and that is good for your health. Okay, interesting messages. Wow. Is this situation going to improve for pile number 2? Queen of Wands, having confidence. Yeah, confidence to keep doing what you're doing and overcome the petty arguments, right? Overcome the petty arguments. You're taking yourself away from these people who just feel like they're like wasting time. You know, you're out here being a Queen of Wands with her one staff, okay? And I'm just calling her for the energy. Ooh, throat chakra, hi. She's throwing her staff, her wand, right? Her wand in the air, and she's like, yeah, I just need this one wand because like I'm a queen. And you're just moving away from this. You know what? It's almost like I'm seeing this extra wand that this Queen of Wands has as like, perhaps you were the queen in your friend group. Perhaps this is weird. And it's not to like say that you've got a big head or anything, but I think you understood that you were outgrowing a certain like group of friends, that potentially all the gossip and just the like petty arguments and the miscommunication and the competition, like again with the greed energy here, it's like if I was contributing my one like spectacular wand with this 5 of Wands, it made the 6 of Wands. It kind of made everyone else look good. It made the group more exciting, and you brought a sense of confidence. You might be a fire sign here, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, and so you, big Leo energy though, like bringing like a sense of vitality and confidence and fun and energy and adventure to the group. And when you take that away, you were maybe organizing all the events and everything like that, but it was like herding cats, you know. You were just like, well, for God's sake, guys, can we actually like do something here? Because if they communicate properly, and if these people actually like dissolve the petty BS, they can actually create a ladder that can help all of you expand and up level in some way. And you're just like, I'm good on my own, actually. Like, I'm protecting my energy here. So yes, it does feel like it's improving, but it might improve with a little bit of solitude. Or just removing yourself from one situation and taking your energy elsewhere. The Queen of Pentacles just fell on the ground. She wants a lot of attention, okay? So taking your attention towards work, taking your attention towards your own business, okay? So this might have really upset a few people that you've gone out and started your own business and like you seem wiser beyond your years. Just make sure that you don't overdo it. Pay attention to your health. Don't overdo it. Make sure you're grounding yourself. And having a sense of balance as well. But the two queens here, it's beautiful energy. Yeah, the Wheel of Fortune. There's some lucky times coming for you, pile number 2. If you can take yourself away from this, enemies working against you, and I use that word lightly, these rats, these pigs and these rats, it's like, I just heard the word bottom feeder, and I don't mean to offend any animals in the process, but it just feels like, you were dealing with some pretty low vibrational people. And when you claim, right, the energy that is rightfully yours, you're on top of the world. You're on top of the wheel. You're turning things in the right direction, okay? There's a sense of luck, and again, that expansiveness. You want to expand. You want to, and maybe you did have really good intentions of inspiring people and wanting to move things forward. But in fact, and it could be a work situation as well. You were getting all the clients, or you were doing really well, and actually your boss was the one who was jealous and greedy here, and you decided to remove yourself from this situation and start something of your own, and that's actually giving you like a lot of luck in the process. The Lovers are showing up here, and the 8 of Cups. So it could be walking away from a situation that you love. It could be walking away from a person that you love. Can we clarify the Lovers and the 8 of Cups, please, Spirit? Can we clarify the Lovers and the 8 of Cups? We have the 4 of Swords, the 2 of Pentacles, a need for rest and rebalancing things. The seeds that you have planted are actually fruiting into a beautiful new opportunity here. There is a sense of loss, though. There is a sense of like, damn, if only this situation had worked out, like it could have been so good. But in fact, I feel like it's going to be so much better. It's like, it's bittersweet. You're walking away from something that, really, if they just got their ish together, they could build that ladder and we could all go together, but it's not working out that way. I really feel like this is a sense of independence here. It's a sense of like retreating from, the chaos, and setting things right in your own life, really balancing things out and making this decision that is an investment in self and an investment in the things that you know that you are going to harvest in the long term, okay? Or harvest coming up very soon. But you're just a little bit brokenhearted about it. A little bit like, I had to kick the cup over at the end. I had to make the best decision for myself. I had to be the one to kind of upset the apple cart, because that sometimes when you're growing, you either inspire or you intimidate. And it's not that you're intimidating. It's just they're intimidated. Ace of Cups, okay? So if this is about a love situation that you have to walk away from, there may be new love coming in quite soon. All right, let's get an advice card. Oh, actually, I want to get the overall. I did this for pile 1, sorry. This situation is improving, yes. Is there any advice? Any advice for pile number 2? Any advice for pile that wants to stand out? Okay, this could have to do with like falling back into old habits, okay? There's a sense of like, if you're over it, it's time to act. It's not something that you need to put up with. But also, once you're successful, this is kind of saying like, be careful not to accept phony apologies, because now that you're a star, people, now that you're a star, people possibly want what you've got. Okay, they want to tap into your lucky energy now. They want to be around you again. Oh, funny that. They came to their senses. Okay, so that's your advice. Just be careful about people coming back around with false pretenses, and you want to only accept the offers that are true and genuine and good for your higher self, not something that is toxic, keeps you stuck in a loop from the past and keeps you back in that chaotic energy, because you're thriving. Okay, focus on thriving forward. This is the second time you've got the Wheel of Fortune showing up in your spread, and it's just a short little spread, and that's pretty rare. So I love that for you. That's beautiful energy, like very Jupiter Sagittarius, kind of lucky, expansive, taking a risk, on top of the world. You've done the right things to push this in the right direction, and it feels really good. It's also the card 10, so it's like something coming to an end so that something else can begin, right? It's a cycle that's closed, and it's closed for the right reasons. And so you don't want to revisit anything that's toxic. Wow. Advice. I'll take both of those, but they're far away. Okay. Your advice. Make the... Shut the front door. Make the choices that best provide what you need and most deeply affirm who you are. Yes, sir. Make your home your haven, a space that reflects your taste, promotes your health, and inspires your best. Okay, you may be working from home. You might walk away from like a corporate job here. There's a sense of like cleansing your space as well once you kind of walk away from this situation. And this art depiction of the Eight of Cups is actually so cool, because it's like you walked away from something that was A-okay, but you're actually walking towards a big ball of sun. Okay, so I love that for you. Really cleanse your space. Know that like that bittersweet energy can get stagnant if you're not careful. You need to move it through. You need to keep watering your garden. Okay, you need to have that retreat space. This is about retreating. So it may not all like start growing straight away. I think you've got a lot of luck just in the action of actually moving away from something, but there's also the action of repair. Okay, repair, restore, rejuvenate. It feels like compost, really like nourishing something. It could be your health as well, bringing a sense of work and play back instead of just work to get the results that you were getting. And it feels like through that process of kind of slowing down to speed up, you actually get a lot more opportunity here. One more message for pile number 2 in this situation. Thank you. So speedy. Breathe through the tension. Okay. This is like not... It's like as much as you want to be bold and like rip some people's... I'm not going to finish that sentence. As much as you want to like scream and shout, it's like just calm, cool ocean, blue sky, and you're walking away with your head held high because you're a queen, okay? Queen of Wands, Queen of Pentacles. You're walking away with your head held high. You're not like coming down to their level. Practice gratitude. Last quarter moon in Sagittarius. Practice gratitude for all that you have now and all that you are going through, because what it's doing is expanding. There's that Sagittarius energy of expansion. It's expanding your good luck. It's expanding new horizons for you. And that very much looks like, saying goodbye, sunset, and then a new day dawns. How beautiful for you. I love this, pile number 2. Please let me know how it resonates in the comments below. Of course, only take what resonates. Don't let anything feel forced. It's personal development. I so appreciate all of you beautiful people being here. I appreciate the likes, the shares, the comments, and of course, please subscribe so I can see you in the next one. Love you. Bye. Pile number 3. This is your reading. If you chose the card that says, make a drawing in the air. Place this drawing on top of another piece of art. It's like very abstract, of course, but it feels like it's like it's kind of a similar message to pile number 1, was it? It just feels like I've got to believe it to see it. Okay, but it also feels like maybe there's an existing thing here, but you actually just want to make it better. So you're kind of putting like an invisible idea over the top of it because you're making future plans. So the reading we're addressing is anything that you want to know is this situation getting better? Okay. So if this doesn't resonate straight off the bat, you may want to go back to the beginning and choose another pile, or you might have like several different ideas for what's going on in life and you want to know a couple of different options, kind of like choose your own adventure. Which life is really? What can this be about? What is this about, please, Spirit? It's still only a collective reading, guys, so please only let it fit in the way that is important to you. We have broken ring, parting of the ways in either romance or business. Okay, we have apple, temptation will test you. Ooh, success, like little glittery success. Desk, pay attention to your work. Yeah, pile number 1 got desk as well. It was a big part of their reading. Chair, field, someone new is entering your life. If you guys are talking about like a divorce situation here, a long-term separation, you know, a long-term relationship coming to an end, or a breakup that kind of not, I guess, needed to happen. Bridge, successfully overcoming a problem. Look, I could really go, okay, this is like make a drawing in the air. This is what I want. You're placing it over the top of another piece of art. Maybe the relationship or the business relationship that you were in, it was good, it was sound, it was okay. Okay, there's that kind of sense, but it feels like we fell out of love. Temptation may have tested someone for sure if there was like a cheating situation involved. However, it also feels like just someone giving attention to something else. So it could have been you, it could have been them, where you were, one person was kind of giving attention more to work or more to anything else but this relationship, and it just felt like falling out of love. And it feels like the apple falls from the tree, you know what I mean? It's like falling out of love, and these little like snowflakes, they fall, but in the end it's success, because like you're realizing, as hard as it is, that if you eat the poison apple, you're going to be poisoned, and it can leak into other areas of your life. If you're unhappy in your relationship, you can get really miserable. You can get really like closed off to the rest of the world, closed off to opportunities. You can get really down about your appearance, your body, even your health, like the way you actually treat your health. And it feels like something's just been stagnant, or something's gone moldy, you know. And this, if you've just separated from someone, it feels like you're wondering, how's this going to repair? How's the divorce, the settlement? How's all that going to go? Look, there may be temptation quite early on. And if there is, like, maybe you're indulging in that. Maybe that's what you need, is like to get under someone to get over someone kind of thing. But there is a sense that like all is well. As we move forward, all is well, because then you can kind of see clearly, right? It's like this is like glistening off a window pane. And you can see clearly now that the rain has gone, and now that the snow has fallen, and now that the like leaves have come off the tree. It's like a transitional, like seasonal thing, where you then start focusing on your work. You then start focusing on, like, it feels like signing documents with this. It feels like justice, you know, making all the right agreements, all the right contracts, crossing your T's, dotting your I's, paying attention to the little details in order for this to be successful. And that's when someone else may enter your life. Whether it was this temptation that was kind of sparking your curiosity, so that maybe it was the temptation that you saw, you didn't act on, but you saw it, and you were like, you know what, I'm miserable in my situation. If I can see that that person exists, or a person like that exists, they're the kind of person I'd like to be in a relationship with. And maybe that helped you, inspired you to make this drawing in the air, right? And place it on top of this other picture and go, that looks better for me. You know, it's not too much of a dramatic transformation when you think about it. I know this is a lot and there may be a lot like of moving pieces here, but it almost feels like once this all settles, once the dust settles, it feels like you then create a table, right? A desk, but it feels like a table where then someone else is invited to the party. It's someone else is invited into your home. Someone else is invited to sit and share a meal with you. And at the end of the day, it's like life is still going ahead as normal. Life is still, you know, I'm still moving in my direction, but I'm just putting someone else in that chair now. As much as it was like a long, windy road to get here, it doesn't have to be. Like, really, it doesn't have to be. It can be quite a clean cut. Okay, we're deciding that this isn't working mutually because it's like the ring is cut in 3 pieces here. So it can indicate that someone, you know, ventured outside of the relationship. But it feels like, look, it broke. The ring broke. The commitment here, whatever it was, broke in some way. The temptation was there. Things have been done. Things have been said. But, you know, now that we're separated, now that this is a situation that has gone its separate directions, there's success. And now we can focus on ahead. Now we can focus on forward. And it does feel like with that success, with that focus, with that new person, you've successfully overcome the problem. Okay? So it does feel quite methodical. It does feel quite step by step by step. Yes, this situation will improve. It just feels like at the moment that it's just thin air. You know, it just feels like magic and miracles, smoke and miracles, you know, smoke and mirrors. Interesting. Let's get some tarot on this. What is this situation in regards to? Is this situation improving? Lovers. Wow, these 2 cards came out, and I've shuffled this deck. Came out for pile number 2. Walking away from a relationship, like it says, either romance or business. Making plans and looking ahead and thinking, okay, I've got to ride this wave now. If I want to move to calmer waters, if I want to make plans to travel, if I want to make plans to move myself forward and keep the spark of my life alive, then I know I have to get in the water and surf and, you know, make this happen. Nine of Cups in reverse. You might not feel entirely great about this. I mean, who can? There's going to be a period where perhaps you feel like I've walked away from something really good, that like, what have I done? You know? But I do get the sparkle here, and the treasure is upside down. So I think it's just this period of, you know, waiting. This period of waiting for your ship to come in is a little bit like, ugh, I'm tempted to, you know, get a cheap thrill. But actually, if I focus on getting this done properly, then the new person that enters my life can turn this around and become like the treasure that I thought I had over here. Okay, it's like if you put this golden ring back together, it's a unit. There's limitless potential in that. It's the full energy, right? 0. A ring is a 0, so it's like the full energy. It's starting the journey all over again. The fool's journey is that of the tarot, and it's like taking a leap of faith in a new direction. And this person is taking a leap of faith towards something that feels really good. So your emotions may be a little bit tested in this period, but if you stay focused, I really feel like someone new entering your life is going to fill the chair comfortably. It's like a glass slipper, you know, the right person is going to fit, and it's actually going to feel like treasure, not like temptation. Beautiful way to put it, Spirit. I love this. We've got the Moon, the World, and the Ace of Swords. Look, travel could definitely be involved here with the World there, but I also feel like a sense of completion, okay? There's deep emotions here. There's realizing that your emotions are allowed to feel topsy-turvy at times, and you may not be able to make sense of them at times because you're like, but I was unhappy, so why am I feeling like this? It's riding that wave, because this 3, even though it's a wand energy here, and then you've got the Moon energy, it's like sometimes when you're surfing through like, you know, a big swell, sometimes you end up under the wave and like kicked into the sand with cuts on you. Just my own experience. Not the best surfer, but look, I grew up on a really hectic beach, so it's like sometimes you're tumbled. Sometimes you're really tumbled by the surf. But if you can take a deep breath, breathe through this energy, that moon energy is really giving me, like this is a Pisces card in tarot, but it's really giving me Cancer energy as well, which is ruled by the moon. And if you just like kind of like see this cycle through, do you know what I mean? It's like a full moon cycle through, breathe through this, and there's a balancing of like the light and dark sides of yourself. So instead of giving into cheap temptation, wait for that fulfillment, wait for that treasure to be found. And look, even if you do give into temptation and you're like, look, I'm not finding what I want and I don't know why, something is coming to a close. It was all part of the transitional process you had to go through. It's all part of the energy kind of closing out here. This is a snake circling this woman again with the like circle energy, but the ring was broken here. Now it's back together. Now we start again. The snake is eating its own tail. It's going, and the moon is a full moon in this card. So it's like it's a cycle. It's a cyclical thing here. And even the bridge energy is giving me like, we curve over this, we flow over this, we're just going in the right direction. Even a wave, it curves over, right? Tunnels over. Even this, the spiral in your mind, okay? But this can also be clarity. You know, you've played this out over and over in your head 1,000 times to get to this point. And this is why it's saying pay attention to your work, because it's so easy to get like emotionally trapped and mentally trapped. But I think eventually the spiraling staircase and all this like contracts and sign this and sign that, if you look closely, there's like a beautiful mind kind of going on here, like really trying to make sense of things. And I think you have a moment of clarity, and then the black bird flies away, right? That darkness is done, and now I can move forward and focus on ahead, and I can take this bridge to a new land, right? To a new land. So whether you're moving physically, state, country, or it's just like a bridge to Terabithia, it's like, let's go. And you're overcoming like this great cavity, you know, there's a gorge underneath here. There's a raging stream, a raging river underneath, and you're really like it's the safe way. And it's safe for your heart to dream again here is what I feel. At the bottom of the deck, we've got the Seven of Wands. Like, you could still be quite closed off to things, but I think you've got this beautiful energy of protecting yourself, and protecting what is yours. And that's why you started this process. You know, that's why you had to draw this idea out in the air before you actually put it down on paper. Because you knew that in order to protect yourself, in order to protect all the things that are good and beautiful and well, and the Seven of Swords comes after the Seven of Wands comes after the Six of Wands. So it's like, look, things may have been good and life might have been good. And like some people will say, well, you purposely disrupted this, but it had to disrupt so that you could move on to the next thing, right? So you could move on to like even better times. And so that you could protect yourself to live out your best possible life. Interesting. All right, so with all of this, it does look like, yes, this is going to work out with some effort. Knight of Swords. What is the advice here? There's a sense of like, you can't delay this any longer. And as I say that, right, the Knight, two polar opposites. You could be spinning on a top here and going, do I do this or do I just like see things out? But here's what else I'm getting. And I'm actually going to hold it this way so you can see it the way it came out. There's a sense of like you're going to have to make a move, and you're going to have to do this swiftly. You know, you're going to come in, you're going to go, okay, I've been thinking about this in order to protect my situation. I just feel this in my gut, in my knowing, in my intuition. I just know I need to do something about this. I've logicked it to death in my mind, but now I need to actually make the move, and I need to cut the cord, right? Once you do that, then I feel like it's a slow process. It's a slow process. Then you plod along. You really pay attention to your work. You really pay attention to the details, and you ground yourself in the journey ahead. Because then you come to the world, okay? Then you come to the new beginning. Then you come to the fresh start. Then you come to the bridge that takes you into the next chapter for you. Other advice here? What other advice have you got? The Hermit, but which way did that want to come out? Yeah, I thought I saw it pop out like that. Look, this could be really about like going within to get a lot of this done and avoiding the temptation. But again, if you feel like indulging in the temptation is what's going to help you, then you're more than welcome to. But there is a sense of, again, that work being of focus. You know, you could even be like going to work at your day job or doing whatever it is that you do for money during the day. And then at night, you're just checking everything's all good with this situation. How are the documents going? How is this process going? And there's a sense of healing that comes with that. It gives you a sense of healing because you're focused through even though focus can sometimes, and paying attention to work can sometimes sound so boring and so like unnecessary, or just tedious, you know, there is something very healing about it. There is something very, you actually understand why you needed to do this. And it may not be prevalent straight away, but I think right at the end of this situation, you really do. It all starts to make sense. You're like, but you're doing the inner work. Absolutely. Other advice here? What's the other advice? Any other advice in this situation, please, Spirit? Any other advice? Ooh. As a blockage, got stuck, 7 of Wands. Again, that was the bottom of the deck energy here, okay? So it's just protecting things. You may have to block this person. That's what that is saying too. You may have to block this person. Look, this person could really be keeping tabs on you. The Surveillance King, the King of Swords, isn't here, but the Ace of Swords can be someone who's just slightly, you know, checking your social media. And so it might be a good idea to block this person just to protect yourself, change the locks, that kind of thing. Just so something doesn't become too like, oh my gosh, this person's just giving me a hard time. They're sending me so many messages about this. Like, I'm trying to keep this amicable and I'm trying to do the right thing when it comes to the legalities, and I just need to keep this person out of my DMs because it's actually keeping me awake at night instead of it's distracting me, right? And temptation can be that as well, the temptation to try and heal something just because someone else wants you to. It's like staying up at night is distracting you from getting the stuff done that you know you need to pay more attention to. But here's the 6 of Swords. When you can block this person out, it doesn't have to be blocking, but it could just be like that you don't open their messages or you don't return their messages in the middle of the night. You just turn your phone off completely. Then you start to make that real progress towards calmer waters, okay? Real progress towards calmer waters. And you'll be your own ship that comes in. You'll be your own ship that will save you because you're putting everything in your little boat and you're like, okay, here's what I care about. I'm making this decision and I made this decision with sound mind and off I go. You know, on my new journey. It might not be like in a luxurious, you know, carted off into perfect wonderland straight away, right? It's not going to be entirely easy, but I'm going. It's that kind of energy. It's a steadfastness of the decision that you made, and not letting anything distract you. And also not kind of diving too deep into a pit of depression at night and rereading their text messages, rereading what, you know, how I could have done this better. It's like, no, mentally you need to actually get in your boat and focus on your work, Queen of Pentacles, and move forward. Okay. What is the overall advice here? Whoa! These cards are so jumpy today. Okay. We have set goals that fit you despite the pressure of others' expectations, judgment, or competition. Yeah, they may be really like putting pressure on you to try and heal this situation. And you're like, no, look, I made this decision. We didn't come this far to just come this far, you know. Decide what matters most to you. Let go of the things that you don't really want, no longer need, or won't ever use. I mean, with separation often comes packing up a lot of things if one person is moving or going through decluttering. So that's going to be very helpful for you. You could also be doing that at night and you don't want to be distracted from that, because it is a really important part of like lightening your load. Protect yourself by limiting contact with people who aren't on your side, those who discount your emotions, diminish your self-esteem, or ask you to compromise your own rights or values. Okay, so this could be family members, friends, maybe even the other person's family members. If this is a work situation, then it's colleagues, you know, kind of saying, why are you doing this? Like, this is just like so unnecessary, blah, 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 blah. And you're like, no, I need to just focus on what I know. I made this decision for my best interests. And because I had this vision, you know, I had this like loose idea that I could create something that was going to be better than the art that was already there, than the picture that was already there. Just because it's a pretty picture doesn't mean it's, you know, of value. Interesting. Okay, new moon in Gemini, think it through. You totally have. You totally have been. Don't think it through for too long because you need to start taking action. Okay, go wild, full moon in Leo. It's having the courage to do this. It's finding the strength within to do this. And then go deeper, new moon in Scorpio. And that just pulls me back to this moon energy under here where it's like, look, you are going to get to some deep emotions within, and understanding those is actually going to serve you really well. In the long term, it's going to serve you really well because you'll come to a place of emotional fulfillment on your own, and then this chair will be filled with someone new. I love this for you, pile number 3. Please let me know in the comments below how it resonates. Look after your beautiful selves, and thank you so much for being here, for the likes, the shares, the comments, and of course, please subscribe so I can see you in the next one. Bye.